Okay. Yeah, so so the name, so we'll have to change this using the tags that we had created. So the name of the operating organization, we'll change this to name. Then just do few. So what is the operational status of the facility? So we'll just come back again to the tag list. Then pick that. Then paste there. So the other problem that we used to also have now with Kobo again, it had like a limit of the number of characters. So you'll find like if you have like a long tag, it will basically like it had like a 13 character limit. So at times you'll find like you've changed this to here, and then the problem will be that it will basically like once it gets to the 13 character limit, it will cut off the others. So the other thing that we used to have to do was just constantly like check that to ensure that the long text are not cut off. So this is one of the way that you do it. Then now maybe I'll just jump back again and show now some of the changes that we did as we were proceeding now with the other mapping activities. So the other thing that we noticed that we could do was first to generate before we create the form, we used to like create a tag list, just the same as this one, on a Google Doc, so that we know if these are the questions that we are going to ask, then these are the tags that we are going to be using, so that it makes the data easy to integrate with OpenStreetMap. So instead of waiting until you collect the data and then now have to do it manually on Excel, we realized that we could also change the same. We could have easily changed these things on Kobo before starting collecting the data. So I'll just demonstrate now the other way of just moving the tags or adding the tags into the form before going for the field exercise. So I'll just open the form. Then, so when you add a question, automatically that question is the one that will appear here as the column head label. So one thing that we realized that we could easily change was, so this will appear like the column as the column label. So just basically come to click on the setting on the same question, then go to where it's written data column name. So that's where now you can easily now put the tags as the, so add the tag here. So you can see the column label of the question, how it's supposed to appear. It will be like, what is the name of the facility? Then change the data column name to fit now with the tags tag list that you created. So what this will happen was, now when you're downloading the data, instead of downloading the data using the so I'll just demonstrate that maybe later on. So when you're selecting now the option of downloading the data, you will uncheck so that the data doesn't pull up the labels, but instead you'll use the data column name. So that way, as you're downloading the data, it will now automatically be aligning with the tag list, and it will be easy now to move it, add it to JOSM for editing. So that is the one example. So I'll just move to the next one. So when you're adding a question, you can just basically add the question, like how you want to ask the question. So for example, who operates or manages the facility. So the question can just appear as you want it to, for the data collector or the respondent to see it. But now, when you want to change it now to fit with the tag list that you've created, then now you come to the data column name and then change it there. So you see here it's who operates or manages the facility, and then under another data column name, now you change it now to fit with the tags. So you see this one, we'll change it to operator type. But the other challenge that was here again was Kobo doesn't pick colon. So you'll see like on the tag list, we had it like as operator type. So it's operator colon then type, because that's how the tags are supposed to be. Then when you come to Kobo, if you try typing that in operator, so when you click, you'll see it automatically changes to operator underscore type. So again, that was another pain point that, yes, we've added now the tags into the form, but again, it meant that it will force us to again go the manual process and maybe basically now change what Kobo has replaced, like the underscore, replace it to the colon as it's supposed to be. So that was basically the process. So as you're adding a new question, you can add the question, then put in the response as they are supposed to appear. Then when now you want it to fit with the tag, you come to data column, you come to settings. Then on settings, you change the data column name to now to match with the tag list or the tags as it's supposed to be. The other thing was, so once you've added the question, now then now you add in the response. So the response again, you can just put them as simple as they are. So as for example here, you can just have them even in capital letters, CDF, NG in capital letters. But now, if you look at the data that I had shared, you realize also the values which are in rows also have to fit also again with the OSM standard or the tag standards. So for this case, so if you've written this in capital, for example, if you decide to put this in capital, whatever way, so for it to now fit exactly with the tags, you have to change this now to lowercase, because that's like the standard of the tagging standard, that the values, everything has to be lower caps. So here, so the value, the response is here, and then on the XML value, you change it now to lowercase. So just type this in. So basically like that. So you'll see all the everything that is here in lowercase. Here on the left side, you can leave them. Can just put them even in. For example, if you want to put this in capital and then upper caps, then the rest even decide to do. So this will just appear on the form. When the data collector is collecting, they'll just see this as it is. But now when you want to download this data now, you have to change it now. You have to change the XML values so that they become they're in lowercase. Then that makes sure that when you're moving out the data to JOSM, you won't have any problems, because most of them now will be fitting automatically with the standard of OpenStreetMap. So basically that was the process now to ensure that the forms that you are creating, apart from just creating the questions, but we used to ensure that they also fit with the tagging system of OpenStreetMap, so that now when we are done with the exercise and we want to edit it on either JOSM or ID, at least we know that it fits with the tagging system. So I will just again open JOSM, and I'll open up another file. But now this one, we fixed now the column heads and all that, so they all fit with the tagging system. So I'll just, then you can see the difference between the two. So you can see the other difference with the initial data that did not fit with the OSM tags was, if I open the same file, you'll see it doesn't have the name, because if you go to the row that's supposed to have the name, yeah, so you see this one is still written as what is the name of the facility, so it doesn't fit like with the tags as they're supposed to be. So that's why, again, you cannot see the name appearing here. So the name that you're seeing is for the other file that I've just added in. But if you go to the same, now the file that if you go to this the other file that now the tags have been sorted out, you'll see now the name, or the name of the facility is appearing, because if you come here, you'll see the tags are matching with that tagging system of OpenStreetMap. So you'll see here we have the name. Then again, we have some problem here with that. Now we used to do like, as I mentioned again, we had to do like some cleanup to ensure that whatever Kobo replaced, that is the colons that were replaced with underscore, we had to change them back to a colon, so that we don't have a problem when you're moving them to JOSM. Yeah, so that used to be the process that will take. So the first step will be first generate a tag list, basically match with the questions, or the form that you'll be using the field. So first generate the tag. So most of them will use tag info to make reference, to ensure that whatever that you're also adding also matches, or ensure that it matches with the tagging system of OpenStreetMap. So this was very helpful. So we'll just like cross-check and ensure that the tag that we are adding in is correct and supposed to be used in the right way. Then after creating the tag list, the next step was to do like a document that will share on OSM wiki, to just also ensure that everyone that comes across the project or the data knows. So most of the time we also like generate like new tags, because some of the questions that we were asking, or some of the information that we are collecting, we don't have like a tag for that. So in some of them, we will just generate them from scratch, which we've done for most of the surveys that we've conducted. So some of the tags, we've just generated them from the scratch. And maybe later on, I can share some of the documents that with the tag list that we've created before with Janet, and then Janet maybe can also share with the team. So I'll just maybe share the documents. Then you can cross-check. So if you are having any project and you want to use the same tags, you can always see what you've used before, and if you want to modify, how to modify them. Yeah. Yeah, so that used to be the process. First, generate the tag list. Then once you have the tag list, then you just come to Kobo, and then you can start generating your form. Then as you're generating the form, ensure that the data column name fits the with the tags, and then also the XML values matches also with the tags. Then once you've done that, I'll just now demonstrate the next part, which is now downloading. So now we've gone to the field, we've collected the data, and now you want to edit it. So just come to download part, and then in this case, most of the time we used to use to select XLS, and then XML values. Yes, XML values. So XML values would basically like pick now the, so what you're just basically doing is like giving a command to Kobo, so that the data that you're collecting, you don't want to pick the, so you don't want to pick the column heads as they appear on the question, but what you want to pick is the data column name part and the XML values that now we are set to fit with the tagging system that or the tag list that we had created. So once you've done that and you've clicked on export, the data will appear here. And then once it appears here, you can easily like download. Then the same data that we had here with the column heads as they appear as the question, you'll see now here we have the same data, but now in this case it fits now with the tag list that we have generated or we added on the form as we were adding the questions. So now you see here we have everything like fits exactly with the tags as we had the tags that we've created. Then once you have this, the next process was download the data as CSV, then use GeoJSON. So this is another tool that was really helpful for us. So I've already downloaded the data. Now I want to move it to convert it to a JSON file, which enable me to add it to JOSM. So I'll just come to where I've downloaded the data. So you see I have the CSV file here. So I'll just add it here. So all the data that I need to use or need to edit added to, and you can see them on the map interface. Then I want to save it as a JSON file. You can save it on whichever file format that you like or that you want to use. But in this case, you just use JSON. So just click on that and then it downloads. Then you can easily like save it to your folder. Then you can rename it. So this is the one that I just demonstrated on using JOSM. So this is the file that I had opened. So just come here and then you can, so you see it just appears as a map.json. So you can just come here. Once you've downloaded, then you can rename it as you want. Then once that is there, then now it's ready to be open now to JOSM. So you have everything here. Then the next part was now editing. So if you want to, there are things that you don't want to upload to OpenStreetMap, you can basically now start removing them. The blank those that are blank and the data that you think is not relevant to go to OpenStreetMap, you can now start the editing process of just removing them. Then if everything is okay, you can now automatically now upload that data to OpenStreetMap, which I think most of us are familiar with. So that was the process of now moving the data from Kobo and then converting it to JSON, then from JSON now adding it to JOSM for final editing and validation before uploading it to OpenStreetMap. So as I had mentioned, most of these things required like a lot of manual. It was like there was a lot of manual work that we had to do. Like when you download the data, you have to go to Excel again, change some of those things, or when you're creating the form, you have to again go to data column. So it was a lot of there was a lot of I would say it was quite a long process. So Erica, our boss, reached out to Kobo, and they started the process of working on some few things that will enable make it easy to integrate the data that is on OpenStreetMap on Kobo to fit with the OSM language or OSM tags. So just now show you some of the changes that were added like recently, I think like few months ago, that now have made the process a bit easy. So one of the things that was introduced was when you have your form, you can easily like add like a new language. So you see here we have the languages. So you can easily like add like a new language. So initially we didn't have like the OSM language. That's why we're having that problem with most of the original or the default data doesn't fit like also automatically with the tagging system of OpenStreetMap. So here now you can easily like when you create your form, you can the first thing you can just do is add a language. So first part you can just add the English. So this also wasn't there. So English will just pick like the question as it appears now on when the data collector is asking the question or collecting the data. Then now the other language you can add is OSM. So what basically it does is it converts now the questions that you have. It can easily now convert them to fit with the tags that you have instead of doing them. So you can set them like standard. So whenever you have a new question that you're adding in, can you just easily like update the language and basically like automatically add the tags to your form. So the process just easy. Just demonstrate this because we already have this, so you can. So the language name will be OSM. Just add OSM. Here you can just put in bracket and then again for the code it will be OSM. So basically that's how you add the language. So once you've added the language, the next part would be so just now do like the normal process of adding the questions. So you can add all your questions as you want them to appear or the information that you want to collect. So you can easily add them there. And then once you've done that, just come back again to the language, then you can just click edit. So because Sorry, I have to show that. So you just come to language, then next to edit, you just click on update the translation. Then it will open up here. So you'll see now the question as it appears, it will be on the left side. Then here you can update now and now change it now to fit with the tags that you have. So here we have the type of facility, and then I'll just here the OSM part on the OSM side, just change it to OSM type. Then what is the name of the facility? Change it to fit with the tags that you've created. Then the question will be, what is the facility, where is the facility located? Then come here again, change the tag to fit the tag list that you have. So once you fill in everything, so the first part will just pick the key, which is the column head. Then later on, it not start it will bring you the option of now changing also the values. So the values that you place there, you will also have the option of maybe now changing them to also fit now with the tags that you generated for this specific project. So you can just again update there. Then you can also do that for the questions that you want to download. So the information that you want to download. So for example, this information about the group number and the location of the survey, like in this case, you have Kibera and Madare. We don't want to add that to OpenStreetMap, so we'll just leave them as blank. So the questions that or the information that you want to download at the end after the exercise, now you can just basically update here, and whatever you don't want to upload to OpenStreetMap, you can skip that so that it doesn't appear on when you're downloading the data. So once you've done that, you can click on Save Changes, then it automatically now saves. Then if you come back to your form, and if you check the column name, it will automatically be appearing now there you'll see now we have the label. So you remember initially we used to just have this. So this we used to change the data column name so that it fits with the tags. But now we have, like, because we've added like a new language, so which is the OSM language. So now it's here. So you can see the difference is that here we Kobo will automatically like replace the colon to underscore. But here, because of the new language that we've added, it will retain the colon. So you don't have the same problem that you used to have before, where again you have to go to Excel and again change those things one by one. So that now that has been fixed automatically, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Then once you've collected your data and you want to download it, again, same procedure. So you come to download, then you can choose the file format that you want to download the data as. So again, you see we also added the option of JSON, meaning that now whatever data you're collecting from, you're downloading from Kobo, we don't have again to go through the process that we used to go through, which is convert the file from either CSV or XLS to now convert it to JSON to make it possible to add to JOSM. So now you can like automatically just click want to download the file as JSON. So that means that we've again sorted that step of the manual process of updating the file from CSV to JSON. So in this case, I'll just keep XLS as an example. Then you see now it picks now the original language that was there, which was the XML values and the headers. And then the two languages that we added, which is English and then OSM. So in this case, we want to download the data, but it will be on the, it should fit with the OSM language. Basically, now the tags will be sorted out, and the data that you'll be collecting will have all the tags that you want. Then the other changes that was added was that now you can easily again, so if you go back to the data that we we had before, to see like there are a lot of things that are necessary. Okay, they are good, but you don't want to add them to OpenStreetMap at the moment. So you can keep them for future reference or for other work. But you see, there are a lot of things that, like the start date and date when the survey was collected. Then you have like other metadata that is at the end that is not needed to, or doesn't have to be added to OpenStreetMap. So you have all these things. So now with the new changes, you can easily like pick the columns that you want to download. So for example, if in this case, I just want to, the data that I've collected, I just want to pick only the type of the facility and just the name. So I'll just uncheck everything else. Maybe you want to have operator type there. So I can easily uncheck all these other things. So you can see I can uncheck, I've already unchecked ID, so I don't have that on my data. The submission time, validation, all these things, I don't want to have them on the data, so I can easily uncheck them. And then when I'm downloading the data, it will not appear there. So now you can easily like choose. So for example, you have all this, the bulk of data, but you just want to focus on like specific columns. You can easily like now pick the specific columns that you want to use or you want to download. So you can just select here. So the option is, you come to advanced options, then you have to check this to select the questions to be exported. Then you can now choose questions or the columns that you want to work with. And I'll just uncheck this one. So once you've done that, you can also save the export, so that in future, if you want to, or you want to continue, you want to download the data again, so you don't have to go through the same process that you've gone through. You can easily like save the export settings. So you can just give it a name. So you can just call this Kibera Watson data. And then you can just hit on export. And I have my data here. So it's an XLS file. It fits with the OSM language and the tags. So now what I can just basically do now is just download it. If I selected the JSON, I can just like automatically now add it to JSON directly. Yeah, so those are the new changes that were recently introduced to just make it easy to integrate the data that is on Kobo to make it integrate and fit with the OSM tags and the same language. Yeah. I think I'll stop there, maybe for a few questions. If there's any question, then I can respond to them.
All right, thank you for sharing. It is really helpful. But I just want to know that this process is when that first you need to have the code correct in your gadgets. After correcting those data to your after physically correcting those data in your gadget, is when you can convert it to that OpenStreetMap and start eating using Johnson or what? That's what I want to know more.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you come back again? Sorry.
I just want to know that in this process, the first depends that you need to have a Kobo correct in your Kobo in your gadget. Then you, after correcting data physically, so when you can proceed with this process to convert to JSON, or what really happened, because I didn't get clear during the first of this presentation. I don't have much information on that.
Okay. So I think for Kobo, I think you can create your account. So you can just sign up like an account. And then once you have the account, you can easily now like create your forms. And then once you have the forms, you can download. You can easily like collect the form. Can easily conduct the survey directly on the web, or you can have the app on your phone, so you can easily like sync the phone with the Kobo account. So it will have your now just the same way as ODK works, that you can easily pull up your forms into the phone, and then you can easily fill in. Then once you filled in, you upload now to either ODK. So it's the same process here. So once you've collected you have your form on the phone, you can go to the field, collect the information. Then once you collect the information, you can upload it to Kobo. So basically, for this session, it was more what is the process now of downloading the data. So how to set up the form in a way that once you've gone to the field, you're sure that the data that you'll be collecting fit now the OSM language or OSM tags. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. You have answered my question.
Welcome.
Thank you, Zach.
You're welcome. So I can't. I'm trying to respond.
I will have to leave now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Okay.